Hello and welcome along to episode 2 of this FM22 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's a journeyman story combined with a director of football challenge, and today, in charge of our first club, Cefn Druids, we play our first game, which is in the Welsh League Cup. So if you've missed episode 1, very quickly, go up in the eye above. We met all of the players and the staff. We also got through the job interview process to get this job in the first place. But you'll learn all about the players that you're going to see in action today. Are a couple, because we've got a director of football and we have now got a couple of signings, albeit probably not ones I'm delighted with. So if you're looking forward to finding out all about that, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from 2 long-term stories. Our Hemel Hempstead One Club story started earlier today. It was a very strange first episode. You can check that out in the eye above. And we'll also be live at 6 PM on Twitch this evening and most other evenings throughout the weekdays of the beta release to take charge of Derby County in administration under transfer embargo, but somehow we've got a plot of route to survive. So come and follow us there if you haven't already. A massive thank you for your support with the first episode. It's gone down really well. I'm so grateful for it. But we've got a lot to focus on here. So no time to dwell. Let's go and look at our new staff because that is going to shape this series. Now, there was a lot of talk in the comments about we need another Pat Nevin. We need a big director of football, like we had at Brechin last year, and he was arguably the catalyst for the meteoric rise. This year, you can judge for yourself whether our director of football is going to achieve that. A couple of you have talked about the standard of the squad and how surprised you were at just how bad it was. Well, look at this for a director of football. Ben Williams, earning £110 a week. Well, just look at it. And taking a thing of absolute horror. 3 for judging ability, 2 for judging potential, 3 for negotiating. We are in big trouble. It's his first job in football. He is absolutely underqualified for it. I don't know what to say. I was terrified when I saw him come in. He has added staff in abundance. Not quite done the same with players, but we'll look at them anyway. So the ones that have joined the club, I think, are head physio Stuart Dooley. He is 6 for physiotherapy, so an upgrade for the equivalent role compared to our director of football. The chief scout is Luke McPhee, who is not great, 5 for ability, 4 for potential. And the under-18s manager, Saul Price, is actually not disastrous given the rest of it. No tactical knowledge, no man management, but coaching-wise, not actually that bad at all. So the staff that have come in are certainly not going to change the world, but the director of football is showing you just how big a challenge it is. We got lucky with Brechin last year. I wish Pat Nevin were here. He's the man we need at the moment. However, the director of football came in, that was weeks and weeks ago, and we've had a little bit of transfer activity. Now the problem I have is that most of the players our director of football has targeted has ended up going to other clubs because they're more reputable than us, they offer more money, whatever it may be. We have managed to get a couple in, and there is one potential loan deal going through at the moment to Newtown for Tom Davis. Now, there's a reason that this is hilarious. We'll come back to it. Let's start with the deals that have been done already, though. So, no players have left the club since we started. 2 signings have come in, both on loan. And the first one, obviously, is a name from a club that you'll know well, very local to Cefn Druids is Wrexham, and I'm hoping later down the line, maybe that can be a bit of a partnership. But for now, our director of football has brought in Jake Bickerstaff. So at the end of the last episode, we'd set up our tactic. We'd gone for a 4-1-4-1. And I was getting ready to prepare for the season. Then he signs this man. A 3-star ability centre forward. A natural poacher. Perfect attributes for it. Great movement. Great finisher. Good composure. The positive is, it's a really good signing who should score goals. Got goals for Caernarfon, who are today's opponents last season. The worry is, we were planning a tactic with one up front. We've got a good target man, and we had to completely rework the shape halfway through pre-season. But I'm delighted to do it for this man. I think he will score goals. Hasn't done it in the pre-season friendlies, mind you. The second signing is bordering on scandalous. We looked at our back 4 in the last episode. The right side of the defence was top class. The left side was diabolical. So after a couple of failed attempts to get in a left back and a centre half, Ricky Watts came in on loan from Haverfordwest. A right back. And not just a right back, an awful right back. 2-star ability. Yes, he can play centre mid as well. Will be a decent enough player on the bench. didn't even get into the negotiations that he could play in cup ties, so he's actually ineligible for today, despite it not being against his parent club. I was so upset. After seeing the first two, I know the players rejected us, but I saw a couple of deals go in for sort of left backs or centre halves, and I thought, okay, it's prioritising the right positions. And then this one just made me so angry. So Ricky Watts comes in, and I've already got a little bit of a vendetta against him just because of the position he plays, but I will try and get him involved in the squad. What we've got to look at, though, are the near misses. We'll come back to Tom Davis, who we're trying to loan in. We'll look at Lucas Murray, who our director of football brought in on trial, but then didn't bring in permanently. And you might remember this guy because we briefly had him at Bangor City in our Build a Nation save last year. It's a good solid centre-half, would have been the second best at the club here, a certain starter, but didn't agree to join in the end. And Lucas Murray has gone off now to Dulwich Hamlet in the National League South. Now the reason the Tom Davis deal is so amusing, from Newtown, is because of the club it's from. Now don't get me wrong here, he will be our second starting centre-half if he comes in. He's not great by any means, but he's definitely the second best at the club. The reason we're going to Newtown for him is because the director of football lost out on a signing to them, and that signing would have been exceptional. Annoyingly, it's not even in the senior squad for Newtown at the moment, but this 15-year-old new gen, James Price Pike, natural left back, centre half and right back, would have been the perfect squad player for this level, was rated second best centre half, best left back, second best right back, and we could have got him for £5 a week, but Newtown, at the moment, the more reputable club by the looks of it. So we've lost out on him, and now we're relying on the players that he's probably replacing in their first team squad. So disappointment regardless. I know it's a question that's popped up a couple of times already, so I will just quickly address it now. We don't have the player attribute masking on in this save because we don't do the transfers. So we want to see the players that are near misses like those ones. In our Hemel Hempstead save, the player attribute masking is on, which makes it virtually impossible to get good players. So that is the transfer work so far. What it means is we looked in the first episode at the left back and centre half and we haven't got any improvements. So we are in big trouble going into this game. Our first league game is not friendly either. We've got TNS in the first league game away from home. But today we just want to see our team in action for the first time. In pre-season we've been a bit of a mixed bag. We've lost to the sides we expected to lose against and we've beaten the ones from the lower leagues in Wales. What I didn't realise in the last episode, which was interesting, is that we've got an affiliation with a random Portuguese Premier League team. And I don't know why. All it is a friendly and shared scouting knowledge, which later down the line could be great for Cefn Druids. Not that I'm hoping to stick along and find out. But that is a disappointing transfer window so far. There's still a few weeks left and we desperately need defenders. I just want to show you before we get into it what the season preview is now. We're expected to finish 10th. Barrytown United 11th, interestingly, one of the stars of Welsh football last time in our Bangor City save. But it's two sides that are expected to finish in the bottom half that are going head to head in this Welsh League Cup tie. And given what's probably going to happen in the league, all I want to do is stay up and have a little cup run if possible. So let's get through the Caernarfon game. Barry lost in the League Cup. TNS have won their game very comfortably. And we are going to ignore our assistant manager and go to the lineup we've picked, because I'm pretty happy with it so far. We're coming up against a back three, and you know how we normally fare against those. So this is the tactic we're now going for. A flat 4-4-2. There's a couple of players it doesn't really suit. Bio in centre midfield is a natural holding player. He's competent in the middle, but not great. And then Agyemang and Jose Ferreira, neither of them can play naturally as a right midfielder. We're training them, but they're not there yet. So the first bit of the season could be a little bit dicey in that regard. You can see down there Ricky Watts is ineligible for this game. Why they've not got a deal for him to play in cup matches, I don't know. It's here for the whole season, so it's not like they're going to miss out on anything, the parent club. We've gone for a sweeper keeper on defend, supporting fullback for Lewis just because he's more talented, he's got a decent cross on him, and Bio is the defensive midfielder of the two, so he'll drop in and cover that shape, I'm hoping. Davidson is the one from the under-19, so I said, I really hope we don't have to promote him because he's not very good, but he's the same ability as a player in his 30s and a better tackler and better physically, so I feel he's the man who deserves the chance. But the front two, the big man, little man combo is what we're going to be reliant on, peppering balls into the boxes. and just trying to create chances. That's all we can really do at the moment. Couple of knockdowns from Roberto and tap-ins from Bickerstaff. Probably our best chance at success this season. If we have a quick look at our tactical style and our wing play setup, we've made a few little adjustments, and my idea is to be direct and effective. We're not going to be able to play beautiful football, but my aim is I want to get the ball wide, I want to get it wide quickly. We're not going to have the overlaps on that were there to start with. I just want to get the ball in the box, because with two good centre forwards in there, one who's a poacher at the front post, one who's good in the air, I feel we can score goals that way. And to be honest, when we're soaking up pressure, the last thing we want is to try and play out from the back and risk facing more attacks than we need to, because I don't think many of them are good enough to start with. I'm umming and ahhing whether to put early crosses on, because I don't know whether we're going to have the strikers in the box yet, and equally, I don't know which positions we're going to be best crossing from, so I'm going to leave it off for the first half, and if it looks like we're not getting the ball in the box, or we're wasting opportunities, or our strikers are making early runs, then we'll just go and whip it on very quickly. But for now, that's what we're going for. We're distributing to the flanks. We've dropped the line of engagement a bit just because I want to make us quite compact in the middle of the pitch. And I always have stay on feet on to reduce the yellow card risk. But this is the team we're going for today. It's Jones in goal, Lewis and Davidson the fullbacks, with Mooney and Lever at centre half. Don't know whether it's a lever or a lever. You can tell me in the comments if you know. Agyemang and Charlie Edge on the wings, the crossing maestros in our team. Pavel Vieira and Yelani Bayo, probably the strongest area in centre midfield. And then Bickerstaff, the new signing, makes his debut alongside Roberto, the target man up front. Now all we've got left is to get into our first game. What a moment in our head coach career. And here comes the moment we've been waiting for. No staff help whatsoever. I'm just seeing if I recognise anyone in the Caernarfon team. Dion Donoghue, he used to play in England, didn't he? As in, I think he's a pretty good player. The rest of it, Darren Thomas is the only other one I recognise a little bit from this league. We're going to tell the lads to impress us. I've got to go and have a look at him. The opposition players, Dion Donoghue, is... Oh my words! He's like League 1, League 2 standard. He was at Barrow last season, Swindon the year before. I knew it. Been in the EFL for ages. I keep changing this. I think it's one of the little beta glitches, because it shows the career stats everywhere, even when I change it. And the only other glitch I've noticed, actually, is even if you set the responsibilities for your staff to be hired by a director of football, you still get asked to confirm the transfer, which is something that's never happened before. Have they got other players that are this good? Because we're going to be in a lot of trouble. Darren Thomas, look at him. He's another player that could probably hold his own in League 2. So this is a side that have gone really big. And we mentioned that a lot of good players had come to the Welsh Premier League in real life this summer, and Dion Donoghue is certainly one of them. But let's not be scared off just yet. Let's get through the dressing room and tunnel interview. Weird that we've got a tunnel interview for this one. We've got our first league game on TV next week. They're expecting a beating at TNS. But for now, we face Caernarfon in the Welsh League Cup. Oh, we've got the visualiser on the right. We might have to change that. I'm not sure what the settings are on yet. I think the gameplay is a little bit slow. I've dropped to key highlights, and we normally go up one. That looks about right, as Bickerstaff picks it up on the right. Definitely in terms of the match engine this year, you can see the touches taken a little bit better, which is nice. And the crossing decisions normally look good, as Edge puts it in early. Bickerstaff's header at the keeper. That's a promising sign. Edge got the ball in with quality quickly. Thomas flicks on the long goal kick, and it's through to our keeper. Not sure this is still a key highlight, but there could be a disastrous error around the corner. We know what it's like. It's a long ball forward. Roberto's in the target man. That is class. 4 minutes in, we've had two great chances. An assist from the keeper. Poor defending, which you expect to see at this low level. But Roberto, the target man, composed as you like. And we lead 1-0 with 10 minutes gone. Let me sort out this visualiser and get up. What do I want up? It's a good question, actually. I think we're going to go for the latest scores. But with 25 gone, we couldn't be much happier with that. We've taken our chances, we've looked good, and we've been solid so far at the back. Touch wood, that continues. Well, just about the perfect half, I think. An early goal, no real highlights against us, no huge attacking threat. Yes, we're giving up a little bit of possession, but the game plan has worked down to a T so far. We've not looked under any pressure, and the front two have each had a big chance. We're not going to get hundreds of chances a game, but can we defend the set pieces? Hughes into Simpson, chance to block, goes back to Thomas. Good save by Jones. Roberto clears off the line, the striker. Second one from Noah Edwards' save. Jones gets it behind for a corner. Still another one of those slightly dodgy keeper animations. But Hughes has got the in-swinging delivery. It's into the front post. Lever gets it away as far as Thomas. We're surviving, but they look a threat. Hughes gets it into the back post. Hayes up in the air. Loses out to Mooney. And now Charlie Edge can bring it away. Can we get one of those counter-attacking goals? We've looked really threatening on the break early doors. Edge brings it away. Gets out of our own half. And wins a free kick. Brilliant experience play. With 5 gone in the second half, we still lead. And we've got a free kick in a very dangerous position. Who's taking it? It's Charlie Edge. He's got the technical quality. Good save, but Vieira will get there on the rebound. That's what happens when you've got a wide man who's got quality ability. Gets crosses in, takes set pieces well, and Vieira's there on the rebound to tap in. It's been a dream debut so far. It has been the perfect start. And this is the side the media are predicting to finish above us in the league. It's a good sign for our mid-table push. We could just improve that defence so we don't look so vulnerable from set pieces and balls in. I think we've got a real chance for a good season. As Simpson gets the ball in centre midfield. Goes back to Evans. 3 at the back we've dealt with quite well today actually. I guess because the left fullback hasn't been tested, that's probably helped us a tad. As Beaumont gets the ball now, they are working down the right this time. Hughes goes back to Donahue. Not really had a kick yet. Plays a 1-2 with Thomas. And Noah Edwards gets it. But we've kept our shape well. We're very deep. We're very compact. And Williams goes down the right. But we've got the fullback pressing. The fullback's tucked in actually. And the winger's gone back with them. The cross into the box is cleared by Lever. Roberto loses in the air. We're soaking up an awful lot of pressure. And it feels a bit early for that. As Donahue sets up Hughes. Who rockets it into the corner. Oh, it's disallowed. Offside? I mean, it didn't look offside to me, but we'll take it. Corner comes in, it's headed over from Evans. I don't know if the legs are starting to tie up, but we are soaking up an awful lot of pressure, and Caernarfon are really getting on top. Having said that though, we've paused it with a quarter of the game to go, and we're 2-0 up. We've had more chances. We've got a better expected goals rate, and I'm pretty happy with where we are. I'm going to give Bickerstaff a rest because it's his debut. We don't want to go too hard, and it does mean later on we can drop Harry into that number 10 role if we need to, which I think might be needed later on. It was very close between Agyemang and Ferreira on the wings. Ferreira's a more defensive option, so we'll bring him on right midfield. And I think I'm going to save the last one another 5 or 10 minutes. I'm tempted to go Lewis left back, Davidson off, Bio right back and bring on another centre mid, but I might just do a straight swap in the end. My worry is the experienced man I put on the bench just in case at left back is looking a little bit complacent, and that's not what I want from my senior pros. 22 minutes to go. Let's see if we can get a third and wrap this up. As Bickerstaff loses out, the subs still haven't been made. We're not going to do it this time. Let's see if my superstition's still true. Whenever we have changes pending, we concede a goal. Donahue gets it up to Hughes, just over the bar. They're getting closer. They are dominating this half. And I feel I might have to tuck one into midfield to deal with Hughes in that number 10 role. So do you know what? I think we're going to go and do it. I'm going to put someone in the holding role, but I haven't worked out how I'm going to make it work yet. I'm tempted to go to a diamond, you know. But I don't think I can do that having just bought Ferreira on. Let's take off Roberto because he's experienced up front the target man. We'll leave Harry up there on his own. I might end up regretting this, but we'll give it a go regardless. So, target forward is Harry. Roberto is dropping back into the holding role. We're going to put Bio in that position. And then we're going to bring on one of Lockett or Farnsworth. Now, Farnsworth doesn't look complacent. He's more determined. And he's better in the tackle. So he's the man that we'll be relying on here. He'll be a box-to-box midfielder on support. Bio will be a defensive midfielder on defend. And Harry will just be left up front for a lone game. I can only apologise to him because he's not going to get much of a chance to succeed. But they're getting on top. And Hughes in that number 10 role is focal to it. So we've got to get players marking him tight. And it seems to have worked. As 10 minutes pass by quietly, we've got 5 left now. Lewis gets the ball at right back to Farnsworth, the sub. Back to Lever. Go on, big ball over the top and score. Bio up to Harry, who drops in. Referee kick clashes with us there. I thought we had another striker making a run. Hayes gets it in the centre circle. Back to Danny Gossett. Another familiar name from the English game. Hayes gets himself in. Oh, keeper did really well to narrow the angle. And Hayes, off the far post, deflects it out for a throw-in. I thought that was 2-1, to be honest. He did everything right, but just slightly too wide as we get a free kick 20 yards out with Charlie Edge. Go on, son. Oh, you beautiful man. Charlie Edge in the corner. It was a brilliant effort. It had dip, it had curl, it went right in the corner. My worry is he's on non-contract terms. He's not here on a paid deal for the year, so we could lose him at any point. But for now, we will make the most of him. He is instrumental to a brilliant performance. He scored the third, he set up the second, and he created a great chance just before the first. A wonderful performance, a brilliant result. It is Cefn Druids 3, Caernarfon 0. So yes, a great start in the League Cup, but the league is where it's going to count now. Just please, Director of Football, give us a couple of lovely players towards the end of the window. So a good sign that Bickerstaff's the best trainer at the club, obviously on a full-time deal at Wrexham. We get a brilliant victory. Vieira scores on his debut. Edge was the man of the match. He deserves massive praise for that. He was a brilliant performer there. Let's have a look at the schedule for when we're going to be back. I think it's pretty obvious. We are going to come back for transfer deadline day. I want to see the new immersive format, but also I want to see if it works in this Director of Football challenge. I want to take part and I want to see if the Director of Football acts in a way a manager would with the new transfer deadline day model. We'll see if it works out or not. We'll also probably play the game against Flint Town, the side expected to finish bottom, the one we've got to win in the league. We'll see if we're able to get the result expected of us there. But a really positive start. I know we haven't had the signings yet in the position we most need, but Bickerstaff looks a good signing. The players there are working really well, and that is one hell of a comprehensive victory. So if you did enjoy the performance, you did enjoy seeing the players that have come in so far, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know in the comments what you think of the players, the tactic, and more importantly, our Director of Football's attributes. If you want to stay up to date, subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. New episodes from this series every day at 3:30 throughout the beta. Our Hemel Hempstead save continues at 11:30 every day too. And as I mentioned earlier, we'll be live on Twitch later, 6 o'clock for our Derby County debut, and you can find all the links you need up in the eye above. A big thank you for watching and following along as always. I can't thank you enough for the support. And I'll see you next time for a very big moment, our first transfer deadline day with our new Director of Football. Fingers crossed he delivers something big for us. I'll see you there.